because I guarantee you, you will not regret it. All right, fellas. So let's get into the first topic of the day: the All Star finalists. They get revealed tomorrow. You can stop voting at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you get your votes in. But we're gonna go through the top two at every position and see who we think should represent the American League as a starter. So we're gonna start with the American League catcher, um, Adley Rutschman, who's hitting 294, 15 home runs, 55 RBIs, going up against Salvador Perez, hitting 281, 14 home runs, 52 RBIs. Tony, who you got? I think you're muted.
You're on mute, Tony.
I got you.
This has been a heavy Orioles. Like these finals, you're gonna see that again over and over again, man. I do do believe that that Atley will win it. Perez has had an awesome year, right? But I just don't know how he'll overtake him, especially with the team that's leading the division, tied for leading the division. That kind of weighs on it a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
Perez has hit pretty decent amount of home runs for a catcher, but I just don't think that he will overtake Adley.
Dave?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Salvador Perez has done enough to take Adley's spot. For one, the Royals have not been really good this year. So I think that's going to hurt him a lot. And like Tony said, the Orioles are tied for first in the AL East. That's giving them one of the best records in Major League Baseball. So when you're going against one of the best, we have a player pretty much going up against a player that's on the one of the best teams in baseball, and that player, the other player, doesn't have crazy numbers. Then there's no way that they're really going to be able to overtake them. And then they got over a million more votes than them. So I don't
Yep.
think that happens. I think our Adley rightfully wins it.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. I think Adley represents the American League as a starter. Um, like you guys said, the team's playing a lot better. The Royals started off hot. They started off insane, but now they're starting to come back to reality a little bit. Because remember, they are the Kansas City Royals. They had that 1 year, but they've pretty much been bad. Um,
But Teddy, haven't they? Isn't that what they've done every year? Like I don't know why anyone
yeah,
expected them to do anything. They call off hot, right? They're kind of like the new video game, right? It's like playing Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty. Remember when Call of Duty kept bringing out game after game after game after game, right? They're kind of like that, like that in a sense. It's like, what do I need this for? All right, because it's irrelevant, right? Because I have something new, and
mm,
that's what the Orioles represent is something new because they've been consistent for the last few years, and the Royals have consistently been bad in the last few years. Well, not the few years, but a very consistently long amount of years they've been pretty bad. I hear they're going to be up for sale. So I mean, Teddy, we can probably get some money together and George Bush this, like the Texas Rangers this.
let's do it.
I might get a couple dollars to throw in there.
uh,
Wouldn't that be hot, right? Our two will get together and buy the Royals. We all get together.
that would be dope.
Majority owners of the Royals. I mean, who else can do it? I mean, nobody. I mean, it's not like you're gonna lose anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a gain for us.
Like podcast on at home plate.
Kauffman Stadium, just chilling. Got Patrick Mahomes in the background.
but yeah,
Travis Kelsey as the catcher.
I'm glad you started with this one here because this is an easy one, man. It's not really something that you can look at and be like, let me think. You only got to think.
Yep. So We'll go to first base. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting 297, 13 home runs, 50 RBIs, and another Oriole, Ryan Mountcastle, hitting 273 with 11 home runs and 40 RBIs. I'll start this one off. As much as if you guys follow me on social media, I don't like this guy, right? Because of the trash that he talks about the Yankees and the organization and the fans and all that. But he's been playing some great baseball as of late. Um, After his haircut, he cut his dreads, and he's been absolutely like he's been one of the best hitters in MLB. He just hit like 2 home runs against the Yankees over the weekend. Had himself a great weekend. Unfortunately, was hurt after getting hit by a pitch. But I mean, I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. should represent the Blue Jays and be the starter at first base for the American League in the All Star game. Dave, who you got?
Vladdy, this was easy for me. Vladdy. Uh, now that Tony had already pointed this out, I'm gonna say this: why is there so many Orioles in this thing?
The
Because
fan, the
I
fan.
don't think Mount. This is so. Allow me to have a smidget of a rant here. Um, the fan voting needs to change in
Mhm.
all sports, football, basketball, and baseball. There's too many popularity votes when it comes to the fan voting. Why is it at 50%? I get it. We are the fans and we want to be catered to, but I also want to see the best of the best. I don't want to just see all the players on one team playing there, especially if all five don't deserve to be there. It makes no sense. I think remember one year when all the Warriors was in there, you had Andrew Bogut on the All-Star team. Like, seriously?
Bro,
Like,
how about when the Royals had 8 guys leading the
yeah.
voting, and the only guy was Mike Trout? Like,
That's
what are we doing?
oh my gosh. That's it. Stuff like that is why this is a rule that needs to be changed.
Hmm.
Forget the other rules that we're going to talk about later. This is a rule that needs to be changed because the players and the coaches need to be the ones that are voting for the guys that need to be getting there, not the freaking fans.
Hmm.
I'm a fan myself, but come on, let's be serious. There aren't five Orioles better than all five other positions in here. It's just that's not the case. So Vladdy is easily my vote when it comes to him and Mount Cancel. I'm taking Vladdy every single day, twice on Sunday, twice on Monday, twice on Tuesday. Don't matter. I'm taking Vladdy every single time because Vladdy's having a great year. And that's not to say that Mount Cancel is not a good player, but he's not Vladdy. Vladdy, it's Vladdy easily for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree with either one. Well, either one of you said, right? I'm not going to have my rant yet. It'll come later on. But but yeah, this is an easy one, right? First of all, there were I still don't know how Mount Castle got in there. There are way more first basemen that are more deserving of that. I mean, you just look at Texas and there's some other player teams there. There's some more deserving people that should be there. But let me jump on what David said here. I always hated the fan vote. I thought it was one of the craziest things that you could probably do. Get the fan involved. The way you get the fan involved is when you put the best players out there and you get them out there to play. That's how you get fans involved. As soon as the fan vote came there, we started having these crazy things. I don't like that whole thing about picking captains on the basketball team and they get to pick their team and stuff like that. This ain't 21 or 33 or whatever you want to call it. That's not what That's not what it is. And in baseball, it's even worse, right? It's even worse. 50% of the vote 50% of the time they ain't even watching. They just know a name and they say and they see stuff. You got a lot of people from Baltimore that just voting now because Baltimore has been a great team. I guarantee you going to look at it. I guarantee you look at it. 90% of the votes that this guy got probably came from Baltimore. It
Hmm.
probably came from the Baltimore area. So so yeah. This is the first two were pretty easy to pick. Right, it was very easy to pick, but this one here is too simple. It shouldn't have been there. You could probably skip this one, Taddy, because it would like and the fact that the vote is so close, right? It
That's the
is
craziest part.
bewildering to me, right? It's bewildering. I think it's what he's up by what 14% or something like that. I think Blake Vlad is up by.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's like that. Anyway, now let's talk about him for instance. He's become a better first baseman. Like just being real. Let's talk about him as a player. He's become better at that position. Like he's all we can hit. Everybody know he can. You know if he miss, he really gonna miss. Right? He's what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name, man. The one that had the daggone gloves to make all the noise every time he's. I can't think of his name, right? But dang, I can't think of his name. But anyway, and I'm picturing him right now. But he's the version of him. He's not like his father. His father was a little more of a dedicated hitter, but he's one of those guys that he swings for the fences every single time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he hit a ground ball, he'd be like, "Dang!" Right? Right? That's kind of how he is.
Legit,
But yeah,
legit.
but as far as being a position player out there, he's become a way better. Like
Mhm.
he was scary over it. He was kind of like our version of Rafael Devers at third base, right? But now he's become a better position player though.
Remember, he started at third and then he got transitioned to first.
Yeah, he had that Kyle Ripken thing going on, which was actually smart for them also to
Yep.
do that with him. I don't think he so the third base thing, the hot corner was too much for him. I think it was just too much for him in his glove because he doesn't have a very good glove work. But at first base, you really don't need to have it. You just need to be positioned well,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that worked out for him. Whoever, yeah, the coaches made a great decision moving him there.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to second base. We got Jose Altuve hitting 304, 13 home runs, 37 RBIs, going up against Marcus Semien, 235, 11 home runs, 44 RBIs. Tony, you're going to start this one.
My bad. So see, the crazy thing about this one right here is like you look at a lot of things. These two guys are pretty short-handed at that position, right? So it's if we're just talking about the play at second base, it's pretty even, right? It's pretty even, right? However, when you look at Altuve's on base percentage, right? And look at all the stuff like that with him. He kind of takes he kind of lifts himself out of there and makes himself more known for him, right? That's probably why he's leading it right now. I don't expect for that to change. I think that he's getting old in that position though, right? I think that he's definitely if he continues to play, he's going to have to change position soon.
Yeah.
But and it's not going to be able to be DH because that position is taken. So it's going to depend on a lot of things. But Altuve should win this one here. I don't see him being overtaken. Now there's a chance. Now there is a chance, but I don't see it happening. This is it's not really a tight race for them. It's close enough where he can overtake Altuve, but I don't see it happening. Houston is too big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only chance I have for Simeon to win this is them wanting to have a hometown guy represent and be a starter because the All Star game is in Texas this year, so that's the only thing. Altuve he's one of the greatest hitters in this game, career wise, right? This year he's not. I mean, he's hitting 304, but the home runs and the RBIs really aren't there. But like you said, defensively he's hit or miss sometimes. Um, and so yeah, I agree. I like Altuve to win this, but if Simeon wins it, I would not be surprised at all. Dave?
I actually think Simeon will get it because he's in Texas. Um, that was gonna be my biggest reason for it. Because even though I think Altuve is having a better year between the two, I think this is where the fan voting got it to where it's close enough to where people can be like, okay, well, let's see if we can get someone from Texas in here because I mean, who else are they going to get?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is their best shot to get someone on there that can start. So You got to have one out there, and they got him almost 1.5 million votes. So I think he gets in. Um, Now I think Altuve deserves it more than Simeon, but I think with the way it's gonna go, I think they're gonna give it to Simeon.
Okay. Shout out to Gio with first comment. Yo, what's up, brother?
How about that L today, Gio?
Hey, damn.
Hey, so real quick, um, I don't disagree with your analysis of this, David. Um, and that's why it was really tough for me to pick this one. This was a tough one for me. Um, that hometown crowd thing is big, but I would say this: the fan base in Texas is waning. Okay, so I don't think they're a flipsy flopsy type of group, and they don't really support that team as much as they should.
Hmm.
Right? Yeah, if you go in and look at the stadium, sometimes there shouldn't be an empty for this team right here. There shouldn't be an empty seat. But you see it time and time when you're pan around and you see it. So I don't know if the fan base is going to push this as much as it can. Now, here's the thing: the Texas fan base is actually a huge fan base. It's not as big as the Yankees around the country, right? Because the Yankees fans are all over the country, right? It's not a small fan base, but Texas fan base isn't that small either.
Hmm.
They rebuilt that team to where not just in Texas, but other surrounding states actually come in to watch that team play. So I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, for this guy to win based on fans, which it shouldn't be, but based on fans. I just don't see it because they're pulling from the same fans, and Houston has a more loyal fan base than the Rangers do, and that's why I went with Altuve and said that I don't think he's gonna be able to overtake him because in reality they're pulling from the same fan base. It's just that the more dedicated fan base is in Houston.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yep.
I ain't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
Houston is a much bigger fan base than the Texas Rangers. It's like it's like the Carolina Panthers when it comes to the Texas Rangers. You saw how empty the seats were this season, even though I mean they got a number one overall pick in the quarterback, but it wasn't really that great of a season for him. CJ
Really a number
Stroud,
one.
CJ Stroud should have been number one overall. So, um, but I mean, I get it. I get it.
And it's sad because they just won the World Series.
That's my point. That's my point. Like you would think, like they don't have a hop on the wagon type fan base,
Hmm.
right? Right? You don't have a hop on the way. Think about this. Denver's fan base sucked. They had no fan base for real. As soon as the Nuggets made it to the finals and started playing, you saw all these Nuggets fans coming out of nowhere, right? And you were like, "Oh man, I didn't know these many people existed in Denver,"
As
right?
Baby would say, coming out of the spider hole.
But you get what I'm saying? Have you seen that with the Rangers? The answer is no, you haven't seen it with them. And that's what makes it such a sad situation. And he'll lose just because their fan base aren't dedicated enough to go and vote for him.
Yeah. We go over to shortstop. Another Oriole, Gunnar Henderson, hitting 288, 26 home runs, 58 RBIs, with going up against Bobby Witt Jr., hitting 312, 12 home runs, 54 RBIs.
This
Dave,
is
Dave, I'm gonna let you start this one off.
why
I'm gonna
me?
let you start this one off.
Why me?
Because of your
Oh
reaction, I'm
my
gonna let you
gosh.
start this one off.
This was the hardest one for me. This was the hardest one for me. If you haven't watched my show, I've talked about both of these guys being dogs. I don't know where this is gonna go because Gunnar Henderson has the lead vote, and for all purposes, he deserves to be able to start and to be able to be in here. But Bobby Wood Jr. has had a phenomenal year this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing awesome. And he had one of the best streaks that we've seen in baseball so far this year. And like you said, he's batting 312 right now. He has 12 home runs, 54 RBIs. He's balling. So I think Gunnar Henderson is going to get it, but I would not be mad if they give it to Bobby Witt Jr. because Bobby Witt Jr. has been balling. He is he's becoming one of my favorite players in the league because I like Gunnar Henderson for one. You know how I feel about Mookie Betts. You know that's my guy. That's my favorite player. No one's going to take that spot. You know, Otani is Otani. Otani is Otani. There's not much you can really say about him. And then you got Mike Trout, Devers, of course. You know, I love Devers with Boston, but Bobby Witt Jr. Man he's tough. He's tough. I wish he was on my team. Not gonna lie, I really wish he was on my team because he would add some offense that we need.
Yep. Tony.
Yeah, this was the second toughest one for me, right? Um, I don't know why, right? I don't know why. I just got this feeling. I got this feeling that Bobby Witt Jr. is going to take this one here, even though he has such a. So the problem with the problem with that happening is that Gunnar started out with such a commanding vote. He came out. I don't know. Apparently, he found more people than Farrakhan found in the Million Man March to vote for him coming out. Like I think he had a vote party or something because he came out flying with the votes, right? However, like I mean, you can't put it past the guy. I mean, his doggone stats is something that you really can't, you can't overlook what he has. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a shortstop. He's a heck of a shortstop. First of all, Gunner is, and then he's hitting what 288. He has the home runs. He like he 13 stolen bases. He has all the numbers that's there, all right, for a guy at that position. The problem is that both of them are really really good as far as in that position as far as throwing people out. Because I don't know if you've seen Bobby play that position, but that man does some things sometimes where I'd be like, whoa. I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
And now you see why I think he should be on the Red Sox.
I was like,
Defense is
whoa.
something that we lack,
I
and
was
he
like,
would help that out a lot.
whoa. Like, is there a ball this dude? No, I mean, no Diddy. Is there a ball this dude can't get to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you know, it's a tough one. Now, that's my heart talking there about Bobby. In reality, that Gunner's going to win it. Like, there's no way he'll overtake Gunner with the vote. Like, no matter how he can get his whole family to do it, and Gunner still win.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he got 3 million people in his family. I don't think that's gonna help him out.
Yeah.
He might have a couple thousand, but 3 million,
We
that's a
call
lot.
back to the Caribbean. Like you call back to the island and bring him in and have him do it. You know what I'm saying? As long as they'll come through the border, he'll be good.
You know what?
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, this one was probably the toughest one out of both leagues for me. Two 5-tool players. Bobby Witt has improved incredibly defensively. Um, but Gunnar Henderson, he's the talk of the league, you know? They just played on Sunday Night Baseball. He was doing his pregame interview. He had his little Lego cleats representing Sunday Night Baseball. So I think it's gonna be Gunner. I think it's gonna be Gunner. He's up there for MVP talks as well. Uh, I mean, Bobby Witt's earning every penny that he just signed for in the offseason. But Gunner is he's incredible.
And the problem with it, Teddy, is the same thing that his fellow player, what was it, catcher? Like he has the same problem,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Let's you're on. Like this is once again an Oriole versus a Royal,
yeah,
and you can't really change the outcome.
yeah. I know, right?
It's like they're destined to
Yeah,
they're destined to be this is like Groundhog's Day for the Royals, right? Like it's Groundhog's Day. Lose. Go to sleep, wake up. It's a different day. Lose. Go to sleep, wake up. Lose. It's like it's Groundhog Day.
yo, that's
Man, this was certainly tough. Cause and Teddy was wrong. He knew to ask. He knew he was going to ask me first. He knew that this wasn't going to be easy for me because I like both of these guys.
hmm
Because Gunnar Henderson, young player, but really, really, really good. He was a rookie last year, right? And then come in this year and got almost 2.7 million fan votes. It's crazy how good he just he improved from last year. So it's like you can't go wrong with Gunnar Henderson.
yeah,
And Bobby Witt is just he's just a dog, man. He's just a
yeah.
dog. So I'm fine with whoever gets this. I'm cool with whoever because they both deserve it. They both deserve it.
And what's crazy is that the Orioles seem to be a shortstop factory, isn't it? I mean, just think about the players that they had at that position. This is a short, like even the guy that moved over to third base from shortstop, but still can still play
Yeah.
shortstop. so,
It's
so
like, hey, I
this is
need
a
I need
shortstop
Red Sox
factory.
office to talk to somebody in Baltimore and say, hey, who you got at shortstop in your farm that you ain't using right now?
Hey, look.
Man, they have a factory because
Exactly.
if you
God,
put up pictures of like their four prospects, dude, they look exactly the same. That's why Gunner started growing a mustache so people can have the difference of him and Jackson Holiday.
yeah, because they look smack alike.
They look exactly the same, bro. And it's like, I mean,
It's like
they
it's
have
like who could we find that looks? Oh, he looks like them. Grab him.
and they're nasty. They're nasty, right? It's ridiculous. The Orioles farm system is up there in the major leagues. And
Yeah,
And it's both. It's not just hitting for these guys. It
mm,
is on the field too. Like these guys are great fielders also at the same time. So that's why I said it's like is Rifkin down there coaching or something like that? Is that
I
what's
don't
going
know,
on?
man.
he's
Because
part of the ownership.
He gotta be.
He's part of the new ownership group that just bought them. So
he
Wow.
is.
yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Makes sense though. Makes sense though.
exactly.
You know
Uh,
what the Orioles farming system reminds me of? Oklahoma City. Look at the Thunder. Look at that system that they have going up. And now look at what they number one seed in the West. All young players for real. Really no vets. And you look at the Warriors team. They got some vets there, but most of their best players are young players. So
mhm, yeah.
You know
crazy.
the rest. You know the Red Sox remind me of.
I'm
Hmm? Do,
listening.
do you know? Do you know what they remind me of?
I'm listening.
The Red Sox remind me of the Cleveland Browns to the New England
Oh
Patriots
my
in the NFL.
god.
We develop players, ship them out like we're like an academy for players to go to other teams and be better at other teams. That's what the Red Sox are. They're the Cleveland Browns to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, look at Verdugo.
He's slumping right now.
Uh,
Don't get me started on that young fella.
listen, that's uh, you just go to a picture. Look,
Look at
look at
Chris.
the
Look at what
Braves.
Chris. Look
Look
what
at
Chris
Chris
Sale's doing.
Sale.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, his arm is going to be rubber. We can't go in there and play him anymore. You can only throw these pitches. Now this dude out there throwing 97, 98.
Throwing better than ever. You ask the dude that's drowning in dirty water, and he's like, "Oh, he just needed to change the scenery." Yeah,
Maybe we just need to clean the water up.
exactly.
Anywho, that's part of my rant.
Let's go on to third base. We got Jose Ramirez hitting 280, 23 home runs, 76 RBIs, going up against another Oriole. Jordan Westberg hitting 281, 13 home runs, 48 RBIs. This to me is no question Jose Ramirez. Um, Jordan Westberg is having a great season. I believe he's a rookie. Um, but going up against J Ram, this guy is hitting home runs maybe every other 3 days. It's kind of ridiculous. And his team is they're both in the top of their divisions, so you really can't hold that against any of them. But I mean, Ramirez is just an absolute menace at the plate. What you got, Tony?
You see the okay, cool. Yeah, so he is having a great season. He but he remember him and Gunner were together.
Okay.
So yeah, so they were together in there. So he is having a good season. But yeah, you're right. This is an easy one here. I don't know. Like it should just say Jose Ramirez, and then number two should be blank. just just being real because
Yeah.
he's having a type of season. Right. Just a real rant. And I know we're gonna talk about this later, but I'm just saying, just off name recognition, I don't know why one player isn't right here also. Right. And we'll mention that in the snubs section in there for me. I'll mention that. But yeah, I'm just surprised that another player wouldn't be there. Jose Ramirez will still win against this person, I think, but as a starter, but there's no way you can. I'm done talking about this. That was an easy one to pick as far as the guy there.
I think I have a feeling I know who you're talking about. Dave?
J Ram. Next.
All right.
I don't even understand why this is even a conversation. It's Joe Jose Ramirez easily.
Yep.
Easily. This is one of the easiest ones I've seen on this list.
Mhm. Uh, Now we go to the designated hitter. We got Yordan Alvarez hitting 294, hitting 17 home runs, 43 RBIs, going up against yet another Oriole, Ryan O'Hearn, hitting 285, 10 home runs, 34 RBIs. To me, this was another easy one. You think designated hitter, you think home runs. You hear Ryan O'Hearn, you don't shake in your boots as a pitcher. You don't, oh man, I got to execute this pitch. If not, he's going to hit it out of the park. With Jordan, you think that every single pitch of every single at bat with this guy. So for me, it's Jordan Alvarez. Dave?
Also, another easy one. Jordan Alvarez to me easily. Um, Now this right here is where I completely agree with the fan base. Houston is a bigger fan base than Baltimore. Um, Although Baltimore is having a great season this year, and Houston is not necessarily because they started off very slow this year. Started to win, but then started losing again. So it's been an up and down season for the Astros. But I'm taking Jordan Alvarez every single time. That is who I fear more between the two. As a DH, I'm pitching to Ryan O'Hearn, but Jordan, nah, I'm doing my best to either walk him or I'm pitching outside somewhere wherever he can. I'm not trying to pitch into that strike zone and give him a chance to hit out of the park. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing that at all. I'm doing my best to pitch around him and force him to bunt or something. But
He
a
ain't
home
bunting.
run. What
He
I'm
ain't
saying
bunting.
is, what I'm saying is, he gonna have either way. I'm not pitching into that strike zone. I'm not giving him any chance to try to go yard. Just I'm not doing it. So Jordan Alvarez.
Well, I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, it's Alvarez all day. I think that dude is probably a. I think of him as being the equivalent of a tiger shark in the water. Right? You see it, you don't mess with it. You leave it alone. You try to get away from him as fast as possible, and that's how this guy is. You walk him. He's not running nowhere. You just walk him. All right. Now that's difficult because Houston does a really good job of protecting him. They do a really good job of protecting him. So it's really difficult to walk him because you have someone behind him that can, do the same thing, right? Someone in front of him, someone behind him. So you can't really do it.
Yeah.
So that I think that's a great job of managing him. But but yeah, it's not even point in talking about the other guy. I don't think the other guy is ready. Now the fact that this is so close of
Counts.
a vote bothers me.
Yeah.
It really bothers me.
Yep.
Right. So, but it's a really, really close race.
It's really fun.
Um, yeah. So, but but yeah, it's Alvarez all day.
Yep. All right. Let's go to the outfield, where one spot is already secured by the captain, Aaron Judge. He was the All-Star top vote getter for the American League. So we got his teammate Juan Soto hitting 303, 20 home runs, 61 RBIs. Stephen Kwan hitting 368, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs. Another Oriole, Anthony Santander, hitting 230, 22 home runs, 55 RBIs. And Kyle Tucker hitting 266 with 19 home runs and 40 RBIs. So I believe with this one, we'll pick two guys that you think will start. And we'll start with Tony.
All right. So this is a pretty tough one, especially with the top three that are there. Um, hmm. Man, I don't know. This is going to be this is a tough one. Um, Now one that's going to be there, Soto's going to be there, probably more than likely, right? He's just changed the Yankees, right? His presence changed the Yankees, and you never really see that for a player that's okay. Anyway, um, you never see that for a player that 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 just gets to the Yankees. They
Yep.
generally try to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's remained himself, which is a great thing for that team.
Yep.
So Soto will be one.
Yep.
Man, it's gonna be Quan. I think I think Stephen Quan. I think it'll be him. I don't know why. Dang man, I don't know. Man, Anthony Standard. Yeah, man, this is a hard one. This second pick is pretty tough,
Yeah.
right? I'll go with Quan because I think he is the better player. Um, I I,
Okay.
I, I think he's better in the outfield also.
Yeah.
But the other two guys are pretty damn good too. Pretty darn good. So you can't really you know you can pick like with the exception of Soto, right? Soto's there. But with the other three, you can pretty much close your eyes and throw a dot and you'll still come out well.
Yeah.
That's how good this group is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the two top vote getters right now.
Okay.
I believe they're the two top vote getters. I think they are. But yeah, I will go with those guys. But I will. This is the one time where I think that the Orioles will probably vote. Uh, what's the guy's name? Anthony Stander.
Santan.
As I say, Santander, right?
Yeah.
How you say it?
Yeah.
Santander. Yeah, I think this is the one time where he might the Orioles may fan base may show up and put him over in there because
Yeah.
Cleveland's fan base is
Yeah.
just like most other ones. They're there and they're not there. That movie wasn't fake. It was a true depiction of the Cleveland fan base.
Yep. Yep. Dave, who you got?
Yeah, I wish I knew what movie you was talking about because I don't. I'm
Oh,
lost.
come on, man. Major League, bro. Come
Major
on.
League. Charlie Sheen.
Come
Oh,
on. Thing. Come on. Come
I
on,
I
man.
forgot. Look,
Gotta be put in the doghouse for that one. That
no,
was
I don't. Joe Vaughn in there. I'm good. So, a Red
bad.
Sox fan already got that spot. I'm good. Um, yeah, Soto for sure is in there. I think that's without question. Um, I mean, there's a reason he got 3 million votes. He gonna be in there. Like Tony said, he's changed life in there. And and the attitude, the aura of Soto has changed Yankees because now you got other Yankees players that are actually showing themselves now. Because you know how Teddy, you know how it is with Yankees. Most people don't go in there; they don't come with much emotion. You know, you got to come in there. You can't have facing your hair and stuff like that. Got to have a haircut and stuff like that, or whatever. You got to be sharp. It's like a military. It's almost like a military team that you're pretty much playing against. And he changed it. Verdugo has attitude. Was it the rookie that you guys had came up? His first hit, he was just excited,
Ben.
and the coach was like, hey, calm down. Like you a Yankee, you gotta relax. He like, man, forget all that. That's my first hit. I'm happy.
Right?
And then
Exactly.
Judge is coming out with attitude now. He's the captain. So I think he automatically gets in there for not just what he brings, but also because of everything that he does on the field. So he's hitting well this year. He's having a good season with the Yankees. So I think he automatically gets in there. Now, like Tony said, the other three is interchangeable. You could go with either one of them, honestly. Quan can easily get in there. I'll definitely be talking about him soon because he's a really good player. He's been having a really good year. But I'm gonna go with one of my favorite players. I'm gonna go with Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker is really good, and I think he's gonna get in there. I'm that fan base for Houston is huge too. So that's something that can get them in there. I think we've said that multiple times on tonight's show. Is that Houston fan base is crazy, and it's for every sport in Houston. It doesn't matter what it is. No matter if it's football, because you know the Texans, they're gonna be hyped this year because with everything they have now. And
Mhm.
then with the Rockets, you know they've always had a really good fan base. It's always been there, and the Astros are like, man, look, we won World Series recently, so we still got that. I mean, they were cheating, but still, they got World Series titles. So you know that fan base is still
Sorry. Don't get me started.
that fan base is still feeling it. So I think Kyle Tucker gets in there. Now the other guys have a great argument, and Kyle Tucker's have a good enough year. And even though the Astros aren't playing well, like I said about Altuve
Mm.
and Alvarez, he may this is I think this is a time where you'll see a team that's not playing so great, that hasn't played so great all year. It's been up and down. It's been inconsistent. Might actually have three players starting.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna have to agree with you guys on Soto. He's clear cut favorite. Um,
I mean, we know you was going to agree with that
Like, hold on. Let
We're
me put the
surprised.
line down at the bottom that says breaking news, Teddy picks Soto.
but
We knew that was going to be said.
yeah, but I wish I went before Dave. I'm gonna have to go with Kyle Tucker on this one. I'm gonna have to go with Kyle Tucker. The reasoning is Stephen Kwan has not had he's playing a great season, right? But he hasn't had as many at bats. He hasn't played in as many games because he was hurt for quite some time. And Santander, he just got hot. In June, he hit 10 or 12 home runs, somewhere around there. So his numbers are a little skewed, right? But Kyle Tucker is one of the most disrespected players in this league. He constantly gets overlooked because of the team that he's on.
Talk to him, Teddy. Let him know because they be disrespecting my boy.
It's ridiculous. Kyle Tucker, he's an incredible hitter. He can play defense very well. Um, he makes the All Star team. He's gonna have to go to left field because Juan Soto will be playing right field. But um, he's got a plus arm out there on the field. He can run on the bases, right? So it's not like he's just a hitter, right? He he hits behind Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez. Those three names right there, they just take all of the focus when you're preparing for the Astros.
Yeah, they take all the aura. It's
Yeah,
that those are the players that you like. All right, who am I going to have to? Who do I focus on? Who do I don't
that,
want to hit? But you keep forgetting that there's a fourth guy that can also be dangerous, and you don't
exactly,
want him to get hot.
exactly. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Stephen Kwan, if he had the number of at bats needed to qualify for all these stats, I would go with him 100% because he's coming off a Gold Glove season out in left field. He hits at an alarming rate. He's batting 368 right now. Um, Aaron Judge's Triple Crown watch is at stake once he gets the qualifying things because he'll be at least 40 to 50 points higher than Judge in the average department.
Exactly.
So I mean, but I gotta go Juan Soto and Kyle Tucker here to fill out the outfield with the captain Aaron Judge. Um,
Yeah, I thought that I, I think we all knew Soto was a no brainer, but for me, and that's not to take slight on Santander because I think he's having a good year too. But Tucker is so slept on, and people don't realize how good of a player that he is, and because he has so many, because he has three other stars in front of him. And the names you hear for real are Jordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve. Those are the two main guys that you hear all the time,
mhm.
and people just forget that Cal Tucker's right. He in the back pocket. He right there too. He just as dangerous.
So I think the one thing that will push Tucker over is the fact that the league actually likes him. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the league has such a they have a percentage of the vote also, right? So it's
Yeah,
not.
it's 25%, just like the players have 25%. I think something like that.
I don't think it's impossible for him to move from where he is to actually moving up, um, and actually being the second player there. That's why I said this is a tough one, man, because you got all those guys right there are are really good players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you had to go skill wise, I agree with you guys. Tucker's the best out of the last three. I don't disagree. I just don't know if he can overtake that. You know, he may finish third, but to get up there to the top, I don't know if he's going to do that.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the National League. We're done with the American League.